What's going on, traders? I hope you guys are ready for another action-packed week. It is time to get the trading on. We had 4 straight green days. The question is, do we get a 5th? We'll find out now. Hit that like button. Let's get it started.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part, it's beatable.
Good morning, everybody. Hola, ¿cómo estás out there? Missy, let's get it started. Ralph in the house, BNZ, Kyle, everybody's getting ready to trade. Let's go ahead and bring on the guys here. Ryan, Faloona, and Zunaid in a hoodie. You already know what that means, guys.
Good morning, chat. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Mitch.
Good morning. Good morning, Zinger Nation out there. Let's go. Let's make some money. It's a Monday.
Hey, well, I hope you guys had a good weekend. I don't know if you guys are March Madness kind of guys, but hope you guys enjoyed it if you guys got some out there. So definitely going to have a good day going into today. Now, just to kind of mention some bigger news that's been out there, of course, the Boeing kind of crash. We'll take a look at Boeing. That's one of the major news of the day. We'll definitely also take a look at to see if the rally continues. I'm actually going to be looking to probably be shorting some airlines today, but stick around. We'll see what happens. And of course, like always, we're going to have different trade ideas here. And like always, what we do here on Live Trading with Benzinga, if you've never joined us, it's all about the process here. So you get to learn how 3 traders attack the market, not just one. So hit the like button. Let's get it started. What are you guys looking at? And maybe share some charts with me,
Yeah, Ryan.
Mitch, Ryan. I like what you did there, Mitch. I completely forgot to share my screen. You gently threw it in there. I love that. Too. Bonus points for Mitch on that one. That was
Let's go. Let's get it going here. So who wants to step up to the plate first?
I'll start
there
first.
There you go. Batting first. Ryan Faloona. Let's go get it.
Lead off, Mitch. Batting lead off.
There you go.
Okay, so the first things first is Mitch briefly mentioned Boeing. Of course, we're going to watch Boeing. There was obviously a plane crash in China. It was a 737. It was not the MAX, so it was just a regular 737. This has been the workhorse aircraft for Boeing for, 4 decades or something not like that now. Just an unbelievably well-used plane. I think for what's going on here as far as trading this goes, I don't think we have all of the details yet. So I think we're going to continue to see headlines come out about what happened, what part of this plane actually failed. Was it the engine? Was it pilot error? Whatever the case was, I expect more and more information to roll out. I was actually just watching CNBC. Before I sat down, they had Phil LeBeau on. Phil LeBeau didn't have information. He's normally pretty plugged into what the airlines are doing. So I would imagine we're going to continue to see some headlines about this. Looking at the chart here, it looks like Boeing is trying to bounce back. So it looks like we were at about 193 prior to this. We're currently at 185. So it looks like it's trying to bounce back. You should get some opportunity to play this in both directions. And remember, Boeing has very liquid options. So if you want to go the options route, you should be able to on Boeing. I'm sure we will monitor how this opens. We'll monitor the price action, and we will continue to monitor the headlines. This would be a day that you definitely want to have the squawk turned on, because Charlie will be all over any new news coming out of Boeing. That much I'm sure of. Looking at the movers tool, we're going to continue to look at some of these small caps that are moving around here. Nile, this is Bit Night Holdings, ticker NILE. Might pass on this one, but we'll see. This might get some steam if it moves through $1. Looks like the next spots here are $1 and $1.10 on a break like that. HUSN, this is Hudson Capital. This one is no stranger to running in the past, right? We've seen a lot of these pops. If you look on the daily chart and you see some of these outsized runs, please notice that it bleeds back a lot of those gains the very next day, or in some cases the same day. So I'm basically, if we're trading this, we're just looking for upside momentum. If it loses that momentum, be mindful. I would be looking to take gains on this pretty quickly if I ended up getting him. UTME, this is another one that's up, and this is actually in a pretty well-defined range here. So I think anything against 272, I think if we break 291, that actually might test 3, and we'll see if we can get above that. 325 and 340 are going to be your higher spots on that. And I think there was one more on here. Two more. Our good old friend BBIG. I don't really see any news or anything like that, but it is popping up this morning. So 290 looks to be support. It's hanging right around that round number at 3. Next spots here are going to be 313 and 330. We'll see if it ends up getting there. And then Mullen. Mullen, this continues to run. We've traded this a number of times here on live trading. It's had a whole bunch of unusual volume. We find ourselves up here again. So 342 looks to be the support spot. If we can take out 354, maybe we get some type of breakout here. Remember, we would be trying to hit all of these spots on the way back up if this does continue. So keep an eye on your daily chart for Mullen. And then last year, this is Kid Pick, PIK. We've been watching this one the past couple of days. This continues to stair step up here. 750 break, I think really sends this. I think you might get a little bit of a pop if you take out 715, but 750 is going to be the spot that we're watching. In fact, I actually meant to put a line there and forgot. We're going to do that right now. Okay. And then there was one more on here. I noticed our good old friend Prague was making some movement. So we have traded Prague a whole bunch. This again, making another move up here, 165, 169, the spot to watch if those get taken out. And then as of note, just last thing here for me, I thought that we were going to kind of revert back to the mean after the strong end of the week. So I actually carried a little bit of SQQQ over the weekend. Didn't really get much of a gap. We'll probably close this at the open unless we plunge, in which case I'll try and sell it into that dip. So that's what I got going for us.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's go to Zunaid here. What's going on, my big man? What you looking at?
Yeah, it's definitely looking at PIK as well. Usually I don't take a look at these type of stocks, but this one's definitely interesting. I mean, you can see I have a buy limit order out here at 670. So if this stock drops another 16 cents at the market open, I'll go ahead and buy a couple of shares. And then again, on my stop loss right there, you can see is 635. Take profit's going to be around 743. As you can see, that was around resistance on Friday's session. So that's something I'm taking a look at. Boeing was already mentioned, but let's go ahead and talk about Tesla here. You can see Tesla's above the $900 level. So now we're going to kind of wait and see what happens between this area of 925 and 904 to see what type of consolidation we get, what the move might be. But realistically, again, I usually don't play Tesla Monday through Wednesday just because the options are too tight or too high for me. So I don't usually play that. But let's move on to Microsoft. The $300 level is something that I'm going to be kind of focusing on. You can see how it barely just cracked it on Friday's session. Now, obviously, we're opening up a little bit below. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert right there to see what kind of action we get above it and see what happens. Now, Baidu, this is a trade that I absolutely missed on Friday, and I'm upset about it because you can see that beautiful 150 bounce from that psychological level of 150, and then it went ahead and gone straight up, if you will, for, let's see, that first 10-minute candle, it went up about $5 from the 150. Missed this trade. Reason I bring it up is because now we'll try to focus in again on this one and see what it does at that 150 level. If you want to go short, you can go short closer to 150. Above 151, you'd be at above 151. You would be out. If you're looking to go long, you grab some shares around 150, wait for the pop, wait for the retest of 150, and then you can try to grab your full size, try to get some confirmation on that side. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cues here. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert here on my E-Trade to buy some calls if we go ahead and test this 349 level after the market opens, and try to see if we can get a bounce at least to the VWAP, if not a little bit more. We can see it a couple of times. This one, I think it might just be like a wick for no good reason. I'd have to check on my other platform to see if this is an actual trading wick or not. But you can see this level here has been kind of acting as resistance and then support in the pre-market session. So we can see how it reacts when the market opens itself. Let me take a look at SPY. All right, nothing that attracts me on SPY. And we'll take a look at the usual suspects in terms of AMD. NVIDIA just had a beautiful run. Let's take a look at AMD. So AMD, you can see we always talk about that $100 level. That's been very, very profitable right here on AMD. You can see it kind of bounced just about, what is that? 24 cents above $100 level. Another level that's been quite profitable is the 110 level. You can see it act as resistance here, support, 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 and now it's got itself a move. And if we go ahead and take a look at the daily, you can see the pattern that it's currently in, trying to figure out what to do with its life. So going to focus on AMD, especially if it can get to the 110 level. Let me go ahead and go back to the hourly here, set an alert right around there. Look to get a bounce off of that play again. And maybe if we can break out above this 116 area sometime this week, if not today, that could mean that we can try to go towards the 120s and then some. But keeping an eye on AMD, that's what I have the chart in terms of long term, and the short term 110, 100 levels is what I'll be watching.
All right, I'll jump in here now, start talking about some of the stocks that I'll be watching. I did see on that Bowen reported by Wall Street Journal that the plane dropped more than 21,000 feet in just over a minute. That is ridiculous. I really feel I've been in a plane that's dropped about 5,000 feet in like a couple of seconds, and that is insane already. I can tell you right now. I was pretty sick for a couple of days just even going through that. So I couldn't imagine dropping that fast.
That's
majority of people would probably pass out just from the kind of the G effects that you're going to feel dropping that fast, that quick. So a little part of me is, hoping there's some survivors, but a little part of me also is like, maybe they weren't conscious at moment of contact. So that's also, I would at least hope that no one suffered. So hopefully they passed out and were able to kind of not be there on contact. There's still no reports on any survivors or anything on that. I'm looking really closely to see if we get any reports on that. I'll let you guys know if we see anything. All right, let's try to go into a little bit more of I'll just really quickly give my outlook on short sides today. I mean, it isn't really something that I want to take advantage of, but I already feel like the airlines are extended, and I feel like this could really knock them back down. So today I'm going to be looking for shorts on AAL, UAL. I'll be looking for shorts through their supports. We'll be looking at the 1 hour supports. You'll see on those charts that you got 1 hour supports. We'll see if those break. And if they do break, we'll see if we can make some money on them. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some other areas to look at. I think you start looking for technology shorts. I think you're going to start seeing some pullbacks in these stocks. Why? I just feel like they're too extended. I mean, 4 days straight up, I just don't think we're going to get another day straight up. And it's just more the probability to me is to the downside, not towards the upside. So we'll see what happens. Do I think this is going to knock us all the way down towards the lows? No, I don't think that. I think you get like kind of inside day worry today. So a lot of stocks just showing that inside day. And then tomorrow will be the real big day for me to be looking at the market to see if we get above that. Another thing that I'm looking at is market breadth. I talk about this all the time, right? So now we have about 42% of stocks that are getting above the SMA 50. I'm looking at also the SMA 200 that is getting now up there towards 32%. The highest I've seen this in the last 2 to 3 months is 34%. So if the SMA 200 number can go to 40% and the SMA 50 number can get close towards that 50%, that's really when the moment comes where I flip towards the bullish game. I know a lot of people are already flipped on that bullish game. So, hey, power to you if you think this is, the bottom's already in, but I'm still not going to do that until I see the market breadth show me that sign, and then I will start going bullish. So today I'm looking for a bunch of inside pullback days, quick profits on the shorts, not going to hold on to them because you could easily get a squeeze right back up. All right. Extended. Yes. If you look at the 1 year charts, I mean, you could look at anything and be like, oh, yeah, that's not extended. But I'll tell you right now, any of these moves that you've seen in the last 4 days, majority of them, especially if they're straight up, like let's say like even PayPal, like here, you see straight on up. Those are the moves that I'll be looking for them to pull back, like about 50% of the retracement. So let's say like on PayPal, that's 16.37. So you could look for maybe around $8 pullback from these levels. And so if I was looking from the top about $8 back down, that'd be a move somewhere in here towards the 110 area, 111 area. So that's what I'd be looking for in a lot of these stocks, is that 50% retracement. All right, we'll see what happens in these stocks. I'll tell you right now, I'll be definitely watching some basic materials like always. I feel like this is the best sector to be watching right now. It's been ripping on out the last 3 days, so we could get a pullback in some of these stocks today. Look for some of the ones that were kind of pulling back on Friday to kind of change. But look how specialty chemicals is really starting to get really pushing. We'll see if these can really start pushing on up. Chemicals is the one that I'm really starting to push out. And look how that's really gotten strong lately. We'll keep watching some of these names to see if they can continue making moves on up. All right, another area to watch, of course, is going to be to see what happens in kind of the industrial game. I've been talking about how these stocks have been really hot. This is where I think the money's rotating to. So keep your eyes on stocks that are in trucking. I'll be looking at also railroads. Railroads started making moves, and these are slower moving stocks. But if you can catch them when they make nice moves on up, they do have a tendency of trending. If you can look here, when these stocks pushed on up last time, they pushed on up about 12%, so they don't get the biggest rip out. But look at the CNI. We've been calling it for a while. This one looks like it's trying to get towards 135s. We look at CP. We've been talking about this for a while also. This one's starting to get strong. So these are slower moving stocks, but I definitely do think they're setting up to the upside. And, of course, I've talked about Deere. Look at where Deere is now. It's at 415. We talked about this one at the beginning of the month when it was doing the pullback here. It was just right over here at 381. Did the pullback with CAT. And when CAT started breaking out, I could feel that Deere was going to do the same. And look how CAT has performed. We'll see how these continue to pull into this week. Disney is the last one I'm going to mention. This potentially can get a crackdown really badly. A lot of people talking about walkouts being mentioned. I was even thinking about going long Disney because of the way that the environment was starting to change and maybe taking a bottom pick. But with news like this being mentioned about Disney, I'm going to stay away. All right, that's going to do it for me, at least from the stocks that I'll be looking at. What do you guys feel in the sectors or industries? Do you feel like we're going to get some pullback action? Do you feel like the bottom's in? How are you guys feeling about the overall market?
Why don't we take Broken Motivator's question here? My question, what do you guys think about metal mining stocks with the news on nickel and palladium?
Yeah, let's go into it. Do you want to talk about it, Rod, or do you want me to cover it?
No, I wanted to follow up question. What news are you referring to? I'm actually trying to track that down here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't know what news you're referring to in that question. Let us know.
All right. Looks like LEU for lagging uranium places, beach bum. I'll take a look at the chart at least. Let's take a look there. LEU looks like it is coming on back there. Try to find a bottom after that hard crackdown that you saw there. You would want to see it get back above 41. There's a 200-day moving average. I think it is starting to try to base out here. I just don't know if you just want to be jumping in it too quickly here. I would look for a trend change. If I look here on the weekly, I don't really see a trend change yet. I see a bunch of like kind of weakness going down here.
Good luck,
so you
everybody.
do see some bottoming action there. There's the bell, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Let's see what happens. Australia did cut imports of aluminum to Russia this week. And yes, I did see mentions of that. And also other resources. Australia is putting pretty hard pressure on Russia, at least for their economy. I think they're doing pretty well on pushing on them. Let's see what happens out there. Nickel news from London market. Yeah, that's probably the one. That's probably what they're talking about. But I personally would just stay away. It's a little bit too confusing for me to try
I
to
don't trade the
around.
metals. That's kind of what I was going to say, Mitch. I really don't trade the metals at all.
ADM.
We talked about palladium on the happy hour recently, but I haven't been able to take a trade based on that.
BORR sending an alert there for me. I'll watch this one. This one's up at 339. I got ADM sending an alert for me. That's a farm product stock. You guys know how I've been talking about farm products. I do think that you're going to get a rip on up. Look at this stock's move today. I've been waiting for this one to give me the alert through. There you guys have it, a big push on up. I'm going to look for a pullback towards, let's say, 84.75s, but right now it is looking strong there, ADM. And for that being mentioned, take a look at some of the other food farm product stocks. You can see how we're having a gap up here. I'm going to be paying attention to some of these names. Dole is one that I gave out last week. DOLE. It's already up 3%. You're going to watch this one for a VWAP bounce type of trade. If it could come back to 1350s, I'll take the trade there.
Closing out my SQQQ from the weekend. I don't really think that we're going to spike down here. UEC running. Remember our buy from on UEC last week, Zunaid? That looks like that's trading up here with the quickness. Looks like we're going to test 5 here.
Man, we got a 50% gain, so appreciate you calling that one out.
All right, looking to get short on AAL here. It's already dropping fast there. Looking for a bounce back to 1645 as it gets short here. It's already dropping fast. I'm going to jump in right there at 37s, guys. We're going to look to add if we can get back to 45s. It's already short on AAL. Remember, guys, this was a trade for me that I was really looking out right out the gates there. So I'm already taking the shot here. Let you guys know if I get an ad on it.
HUSN so far has held 304. I'm not in it.
What you got on out there? Oh, what's that one popping there on the 10?
That's going to be Apple.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you've got Apple popping. You've got the SPY trying to crack 445. The Qs went ahead and bounced around the around the 350. Didn't quite come down to the 349. So I don't have any calls there. Going to be patient because right now that's a big move for Apple. About $1.50, give or take.
US Steel pushing hard there, guys, right out the gates. Look for a pullback in that towards 34, but that one look good. Just nice little push right out the gates there.
I'm interested in CF as well. If it can break 100, then come back and test it, I'd be interested in CF. I should set an alert right here.
All right, looking for a resistance test here of 1644 on AAL. We're going to look for it to reject from that level and then come right back underneath here.
Looks like I got filled on PIK. Average fill, 670. Stop loss, 636. This is a very risky trade. I could be out within seconds.
PIK was good last week, though. That's interesting. I'll watch that with you.
Yeah. A better level to get in might be around $6 or so, but for now, we are headed down. Right? Look at that. Bounce straight off from the 650s.
Where are you long from on that?
670. So not the best. It was mainly near VWAP. A better entry would have been that 650 to kind of take a scalp on it, but
looks like Cliff's being mentioned in the chat. Yeah, X going up there. Probably Cliff's making a move also, and BTU making a move also. Basic materials, man. They pay out.
CCJ.
All right, just saw that rejection from the 1650s there on AAL. We're going to look for a little tick up here, but start getting short and getting bigger here.
Ooh, let me turn that off.
CCJ over 28, man. I really got shaken out of those calls. What a bummer that was.
The CCJ one?
Yeah, the one day it sold off. I was like, I don't want this trade to go red. I'm going to sell it right here. Immediately bounced. Now it's back open. My calls were 28, June 28th. Here we are.
Man.
I mean, that's how it goes sometimes, though.
Yeah.
BBIG out of the gate here. I'm not in it, by the way. Not in BBIG.
Baidu rejecting off of the 150 so far. I'm looking for this one to pop to maybe the 151.
Just added there.
And then I can retest the buys.
Added in AAL short there.
Yeah, you've got it currently bouncing off of VWAP. That is Boeing, ticker BA.
Yeah, where are we at with Boeing?
Boeing, we're currently at 183.50s.
Yeah, I'm watching that one.
Yeah, okay. So the first move from the open was down, it looks like. So we'll see if we try to continue to bounce here or not.
Yeah, that's why I jumped on it short. When I started seeing BA break down, I went short.
All right, PIK stopped out, took a loss. Let's see what that loss was. I think it was $70 or so.
There's BA cracking down there,
74.
guys. Halliburton back at the VWAP there. Nice call out in the chat. That doesn't look bad for a VWAP bounce type of trade. I would look to get in somewhere near 37.10s, 37.05s. Risk off of 37s. That would be my look. Does look good there today. I'm just gonna stick with this AAL trade, but I do like the look there. Call out whoever did call that out. I think it was the blind trader, man. He has eyes for me.
He's awesome.
I'll show you guys the setup there. You see the Halliburton right there. VWAP came right back to VWAP. Look where it's at already. It's already bounced there up to the highs. Boom.
Ryan's
you could have been nailing it right there.
UEC calls from Friday are up about 62%.
AAL looking good there, guys. Takedown, baby. Saw the big size and jump in there in the 40s. And so in above the 40s, they were starting to really get short. When it got to that 1650, that second rejection, you saw a big short size go into there. And then all of a sudden, it was really quickly back down towards the 40s. For us now, we don't want to see it back above 1645. We want to see this just start getting flushed to 16. SQ breaking down. Yeah, remember, guys, I feel like they're going to be doing some like kind of inside moves, maybe a little bit of pullback first, the first hour of the day. Then you could catch a push. So just be careful out there both ways today. I think that you're going to see both kind of action.
Zinger buddy making an appearance.
Yeah.
Buddy?
All right, someone talking about AMC breaking out. DDS still going over 300. We'll see what happens on that one. Here's that flush down towards the 1629s there for AAL. Let's see if we can get through 16, guys.
Baidu so far can't crack the 150s. I'm kind of scrolling around, seeing if I like anything. Nothing so far.
Boom, big order at 1622s, 160 waiting there. Let's see if it flushes through that 1622.
DD, interesting here. Ron, you had called DD earlier. You're watching it here. 428 looks like the spot from the after hours on Friday. That was your high. It looks like we're attacking that. I'm not in it right now. I'm wondering if you took that out of the open. Nice little move here out of the open.
All right, that Halliburton VWAP bounce trade. Nice call out blind. That would have been beautiful move right there. Nice VWAP pullback to 37.12s, already up there to 37.55s. That's a nice 1% capture there. Not a bad move there. Let's take a look here at what's open green here. Energy, basic materials up more than 1%. What is leading there? A coal aluminum trade, guys. If we know it, BTU's up. Wouldn't you know it, guys? METC also up. CEIX and coal at the VWAP. You can take a look at that one, see if it comes back up through 1625s. It's not a bad looking level there. AAL still trying to work down there. We'll see what happens on that. Steel looking good today. Copper doing well. Agriculture, silver, gold, chemicals, all doing well today. I'll take a look at some of these chemical trades to see if I can catch some of this.
HUSN getting crazy here. Moving too fast for me, though, I think.
Meow. Meow.
Tesla moving off the open. Looks like Oak Chaz, you were calling Tesla. Tesla does have a huge pop out of the open here.
There you go. That's good for the autos. Yeah, that's good for the autos and good for the overall market. Remember how I look at those two for leaders. So if you take a look, Apple doing really good here, Tesla doing really good here right out the gates. We'll see if that can get up to 1,000 today. It's really pushing hard there. It hasn't even come back towards VWAP. Neither has Apple. Oh, Apple did do a little VWAP bounce here.
Yeah, Apple just that's we got something on CF. So there's CF cracking $100. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Let me see what the options look like on CF. That's why it's important to kind of have your alert set. If you guys don't have that, practice using that. And these options are spready, so pass on that for a minute.
All right, how's our SPY doing here? SPY's pushing up pretty significantly there. Didn't expect to see that big push in the SPY there. It's actually doing well there. Another one that's getting a big push right out the gates here. Well, not at the gates, a little bit red to green move. CLNE, guys, Clean Energy Fuels. Look for that one to keep pushing. That one likes to run with FSIL and Plug. And you take a look at all of them pushing significantly here right out the gates. So Plug, FSIL. Then you take a look at Clean. This is why it's important to know relationships, guys. As soon as I see one push, I can look at the other ones to see if they're pushing also. So there you guys have it. Plug, FSIL, also all of them pushing up significantly there. Keep your eyes on that.
FSIL, by the way, 692, your intraday high from Friday. Good shout on that because it looks like we're approaching that right here.
Yeah, I actually traded this one on Friday. I was able to nail it for a long. So I'd look at it today also. It's done pretty well through that 671 level.
I'm going to try a long here on Microsoft. Microsoft $300 calls expiring this week. I got filled at 385. The breakdown below VWAP and maybe around the 298.50s would be my stop loss. That's Microsoft 300 calls filled at 385.
Boom, getting the knockdown there in AAL, and there's some size waiting there on Edge X there at 1625s. Boom, there it goes through 9,000, 2,800, and 7,800 shares going through there. And there's some more bid action coming in there. So let's see if we can get down that to a 16, guys. This is American Airlines. Nice short on there. So not everything's in the green. We'll see what happens.
Let's see.
Yeah, that Apple move was a pretty good move there. NVIDIA moving too. NVIDIA does have a an event this week. I think it's Tuesday, but I gotta confirm on that.
I'm watching FSEL here. It looks like it's trying to go to 692. See a lot there.
Yeah, UEC is moving nicely. 80%, Ryan.
Yep.
You going to sell everything at 100 or are you going to scale out? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to scale. I'd like to be patient, but we'll see if I'm in a patient mood. It's a Monday. So I don't know.
I feel you.
Oxy pushing up today, guys, pretty significantly there. I definitely got stopped out of Chevron way too early. I'm annoyed at that swing trade. I did get stopped out on Friday, guys. It went through the level. I should have gave myself a little bit more room at that 159. It actually went towards a low there of 158.78, stopping me out. You want to know where I got stopped out, guys? This is why you don't put the stops out there, guys. The low of the day was 158.78. Where did I get stopped out? 158.80. 2 ticks away from the low. That's what happens, baby. You'll get hunted. That's the problem of not being able to watch your swing trades all day and putting those stop orders out there. They attack that thing all day.
You've got Microsoft trying to crack 300 here. My first out, I've already got the order out there. On my first out on those contracts, it's going to be $4.40. Right now it's trading at $4 on the ask, but my first out is $4.40.
All right, ripper of the day, BBIG trying to push there above $3. It's trying to hold the $3 pullbacks. You can see here right out the gates, it did pull back to 294, recovered 3. So I think if it holds 3 on pullbacks, you're still looking good right now. So keep your eyes on that one. It is trying to push 302 support there. We'll see if it holds there. Maybe it's a wick towards 3 and then really recovers. We'll see what happens there.
Born to be free was saying there's a cup and handle setting up on the daily and the weekly chart for UEC. So went ahead and pulled that up here. This, I believe, is your cup and your handle. And now we're making a push here. So really the next thing to watch out for here, we take out this high at 539, giddy up. We should be in good shape. And it looks like maybe we'll even take out this 580 high. Weekly, that picture is a little bit more murky. It happened a little bit quick. It was this candle that's kind of making a hammer here. But Born, good spot there. It's one of the reasons why I don't just necessarily want to take this all off the table. I mean, they are 7 calls. So if we can approach 7, that'd be great. But as Zunaid was correctly saying, I mean, you get up to 100%, you're playing with fire if you're not locking in your gains at that point.
Yeah. Especially because our risk is 100. So you want 100%. So you want that 1-to-1 at the very least.
finally getting AAL down towards the 16 here. If we can get a break towards 16.10s, I'm going to take half off here. Look for it to continue working down here. If we could break towards 16, there's a big support there. So I'm going to give it a chance to break through that. Let's see if we can get through the 15s here, get towards the 10, and I'll just take half of it off here. Dun, dun, dun. Do we get it?
Rejection from 300 for Microsoft.
All right, it's slowing up there. I'm going to take half off right here, 16.19. But we're going to look to see it keep flushing towards 16 on the rest of it. Boop, 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 boop.
So some of our plays from this morning doing well. We had Didi. Let's see where are we at with Didi? Ron, you were all over this. Didi took out that 412. Oh man, I took it off my screen. Ron, way to go. Ron, you were all over Didi. Here, let's go ahead and bring this up here real quick. This trade happened. I missed it. 428 was going to be your high from the pre-market on Friday. Took that out here. Looked like we went as high as almost 470. Ron, you were in that from the open. Good stuff on that DD trade. That one worked out nicely. Some of the other ones we're watching. HUSN, it looks like this one's still getting ready to go here. 360 seems to be the spot. It stopped there twice today. This one's moving around like crazy, though. Be careful if you play this one. We'll see if we take out 360 here. What were some of our other names from the movers? Nile, that was the other one. Nile. I haven't seen that on the scanner yet, so I think this might have died off. It's just still kind of flirting right around that $1 range, but really hasn't taken off yet. So a couple of, man, CCJ. This thing is just no chill in CCJ. Still wish I had those calls.
All right, UAL, you can also look for shorts there, guys. That one looks like it's breaking on down there. We talked about that one pre-market, looking for a short. That one looking great. DAL also, all of the airlines, guys, you could have jumped on short today. And I feel like that's almost a given. It was a given today to jump on these things short. So with the BA news, I think it was almost like, dude, they just literally put some fruit out there for me. So not a bad trade there.
Fruit out there for Mitch. I love you. Got away with words, man.
Hey, man, if they put the fruits out there, man, I'll definitely knock them down and take them. I'm that kind of guy. I'll sneak in your backyard and steal your lemons and walk out.
You've got Microsoft that was trying to get past the $300 level. It can't, so I'm going to go ahead and sell my contracts for a loss here. I got in at 385. I am out at 332 for a loss on that. You can see it's below VWAP. Microsoft 10-minute. Going to close it below. I'm out. If you want another, like, hey, stop out of here. If you want to take a little bit more risk below 298, you should go ahead and get out as well. But for me, I'm going to take an L. I'm going to move on with life.
That's I'm sorry, Zunaid. I don't mean to laugh at you, but the way you put
you're
that
good.
was rather entertaining.
Hey, no worries. Part of the game.
Good call here. Oak Chaz, minus 15% on Shopify. I have it at minus almost 14%, but it is up off the lows here. I don't see any news. Shopify trading lower, possibly selling off following a rally into Friday's close. So maybe it's just like an equalization of the price. We're pretty much back down to the area we were at on Friday for Shopify. I'm not in this. I didn't play this, but big pullback here right out of the open. But we right back to where we were on Friday. Something's going on there. I'm not sure what's.
Hey, and the basic materials train continues, guys. If you guys were trading basic materials today, right out the gates, looks like almost all of them went towards the green there. Big move in BTU, aluminum, AAA, and CENX. Look at that. Look at that ACOA move. Oh, good Lord, guys. I feel like a lot of people were starting to turn their eyes around on basic materials because the market is bottoming there, or at least some people think. And you're seeing today there, these basic materials just continue to rip. Cliff, X,
yeah,
really good trades there, guys. So if you were on those trades today and you were able to like get it right out the gates and nail these types of trades, these are my favorite types of trade because these are the ones that a lot of times I'll leave a little bit of share size for a swing trade. They're looking great right now, pushing on up. But there you guys have it.
I went ahead and took CF. The options were a little too spready, so I went and just took comments here. You can see I got filled at 101.43. Stop loss is going to be below 99. Profit target at the moment is going to be 104.14. I might just go ahead and bring that one down a bit, but we'll see. I also liked how this 10-minute candle closed above VWAP, and this one went ahead and tested it and bounced so far. We're up about $56. Gonna try to get about $200 out of this one if I can. Microsoft on this end, below VWAP, trying to test it. If you like it short, this is a solid opportunity to go short here above 299.50. You go in and get out in case you're wrong. BBLG looks like Twitter's getting hot on this one. It's already halted up on my list to keep an eye on if it comes back and tests VWAP around $3. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do this. I'm gonna, if I can. Oh, it's halted, so maybe I can't. I don't know. I can't do anything on that ticker. That's weird. I wanted to buy some. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like because it's halted, I can't. Oh, there it is. Never mind. If we can,
all right,
try to buy it. Go ahead, man. I'm trying to figure this
looking at Baba potentially for a short here. It's starting to break down, and I see the 99 below it. That 100 stands out to me. I feel like if it cracks through there, you're going to see a big flush down. I'm already seeing it flush down a point just by talking here. So just give me a second. I'll let you guys know if I take it. It already went down a point, so it's kind of hard to jump on it. Look at that candle. I was looking at it right here at the VWAP, and look what happened on that candle. Boom. It didn't let me. Baba didn't wait for me. Not even a second. Look at that. It's already down two points from that moment. I would have loved to have grabbed it there, but it's already 2% away from there. I'm going to wait here. AAL looks like it's trying to get through the 16 for us. We're going to keep working that. We still have 100 shares of that. Let's let it keep working there. And BA, Bowen is coming back towards the VWAP. Look to see if it rejects from that VWAP and takes out the low.
Look at Microsoft and the rejection from that VWAP. We called it out saying, yo, that's a beautiful short.
Similar move on Baba. Similar move on Baba there. So
yep.
What I think you're starting to see is a breakdown there of the SPY. Boom.
By the way, I went ahead and got filled on that BBLG. I'm in at 343. I've got more shares to buy around 304. I think my profit target on this one, we'll just call it about 391. See if I can get that move. Just having a little bit of fun with the Twitter call outs, but that's what's going on for me.
BBLG, not BBIG?
BBLG. L like Larry.
I had to do a double take it first. That's hilarious.
I know. But again, this is strictly, and damn, Bob, I mean, Microsoft, good Lord. And there's CLF. We were in the profit, but now we're red on it. CEI. I haven't seen that one in a minute. Let me go ahead and see. Is it near $1? Not quite, but it is bouncing.
Was
not
looking
my
at
play.
Some SPY puts. I was interested in trying it for once, but I'm just gonna hold off. I'm too slow when I start looking at options. Was looking at some SPY puts there. SPY is just flushing, guys. Be careful out there.
Is. Let's pull up SPY here on the left.
This is what I was looking for, guys. So I'm going to start shorting big here. Look at PayPal today. This is what I expected down here. Look at that flush. But remember, I don't think these are going to flush all the way down towards their low. It's just they're extended. So it's kind of a common move.
Should not have sold my SQQQ early.
Yeah.
Clearly, I was a little early on that one.
Yeah.
The question is, are you going to go back and see how much you would have been up?
No. I mean, I played it with such a small size that doesn't really matter. I mean, I would have probably made like $80 more than I did.
I feel you.
So no. With what's more concerning is I'm trying to get that feel down, right? That it's hard to be contrarian all the time and be right, but I'm trying to kind of like hone that feeling. And it really did feel like we were going to sell off today, given the run that we had at the end of the week last week. But right out of the gate here, it was almost like a head fake, right? So not the end of the world.
Yeah, I was leaning on the quote that I love. The market loves to hurt where the most is, and the most I felt was like, oh yeah, we found the bottom, guys. I had one guy in pre-market prep chat that I had to call him out too, because he was like, "What? The bottom's in. There's no risk in buying." I was like, ha 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 ha.
There's always a risk in buying, though.
I started laughing, Ryan. You got to laugh when you see comments like that. Oh yeah, no, it's just there's no risk today.
No, I try not to laugh. Laughing at other people sends the wrong message. Even if I do think it's funny, I don't want to inadvertently call someone a dumbass or anything like that.
Oh, I call it how I see it. Let's just say that. I don't hide away.
I get it. I get it, and I'm guilty of that plenty. But there's always risk whenever you buy something, right? And in fact, one of the reasons I played the SQQQ
short here
was because I was buying an inverse ETF. I still understand that there's a risk when buying, but I wasn't as much of a risk as shorting. So I don't know. There's always a risk in buying.
I missed that little pop to VWAP there for Tesla. Looking at potentially shorting Tesla here at 930s. If I can get a little bounce to 930s here, I don't mind risking like 5 points here.
Jeff, you still have your SQQQ. Good stuff, man. I got out of that just a little too early.
I'm trying to set up an order there at 930s here for Tesla to see if I can get a fill there. 2,000 shares just went through there at 926. That's a pretty good amount there for Tesla. Man, I couldn't imagine trading 2,000 shares of Tesla.
Yeah, what is that?
You hear me, Zunaid?
I'm trying to do the math. Yeah, 1.8 million. Yeah, no.
Yeah, nah. My heart, my poor heart.
Boy, I'd be freaking out every. What is that? Every cent of a move. What is that?
Well, every cent is like $100.
Every cent's like $20. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, no, that's just too much for us. Let's just be honest.
Especially with Tesla, that thing moves like $1. You got it. $2,000 $1. Now you got it. You got it.
Orders out there, guys. Let's see if I can get a fill here. It's starting to push there towards the 930s. I have the order out literally sitting at 930.
Look at BABA bouncing from the session lows. First 10-minute candle, second 10-minute candle. So it's bouncing off of there.
Looking at Tesla to get short at 930s. Let's see if I get it. I'll let you guys know. No fill there. It went close to it. I'd have to jump in here, guys. I'd be a little extended. I'm going to wait. If I get my fill, I get my fill. But I'm going to try my best not to be too reactionary there and too early to the gun.
For some people, that's just change. No, I agree. 1.8 million for some folks is just change. But for me, it's a change of life, not change.
No, yeah. I mean, you trading with that. Do you know how much you got to be probably making?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like the people that I see put out like comments like, yeah, I traded 30 contracts of Tesla. I'm like, yeah, you liar.
I'll do that on a Friday. But
30 contracts?
Well, on a Friday, Friday's okay. Friday, because you can get those for like 50 cents or so.
All right.
You know,
all right. Well, maybe I need to learn a little bit there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you one thing.
$50 to $1, you can get that. So that I can see.
I love that short there on Tesla. Just no fill there, guys. Look at this rejected off the VWAP. This is what I was trying to get there, but I didn't get the fill up there towards it. I had like different VWAPs on different platforms, so I was looking for the top part of it, which was 930. But I wanted to get short off of the VWAP there. Look at that, went right back down. That's exactly what I was trying to target there. I'm just going to call the order off now. No entry there in Tesla, but I did like the trade there. Look at that. Look at that reaction right back down. I love that. These are my favorite types of trade. Bullish types of fake outs to the upside, breakdowns, holds that VWAP, and then just flushes down.
So are you short that now?
I didn't get it, and I missed my entry there, but that's how it goes sometimes. Let's see if AAL can crack the 16 here, guys. We got really close to it, 16.8. I'm trying to get this to crack 16, still in this AAL short. BA, look for that to kind of reject 3 times above VWAP and then flush down. That's what I'd be looking for. Apple, maybe a reject from VWAP. Yeah, I'd look for that. Maybe a 164.60 rejection there. SPY is really getting it really kind of flipped down there for us. So let's see if it comes back towards the 438s. Let's look at PayPal. Anything back at VWAP, please let me know, guys. I'm looking for shorts out there. Look for basic materials to catch that dip by the VWAP now. Around that time, I'd be looking for VWAP or big pullbacks. Looks like aluminum is the strongest one right now. Steel looking like it wants to break out also. So I take a look at Cliffs. Take a look at X. You see how they just both gave a really strong candle? Look for that 90 EMA pullback hold if you're looking for an extension of back above. I also like this one, Steel Dynamics, guys, STLD. Do like to look at this one. Look how this one's been taking off lately. STLD. Most people don't think about this one in steel. Steel Dynamics really taking off. Look how I've been watching this one since really January 5th. We've been watching this one, and that thing's been a freaking monster.
UEC is curling. High that it put in today is 515. It's right at 5 now, but it is curling back up on UEC. Still in all of those calls. We didn't take very many to begin with.
We took 100 apiece. I mean, not 100, 10 apiece. Jesus Christ. 100 apiece would be dope. All right, you wanted to know a stock coming up near VWAP, and that is AMD coming up to possibly test the 115s. You can see the double touch at the 113s, which is near the previous close of 113.46.
Nice. So this has a ascending triangle on the hourly chart. So looking for a breakdown of 113 on the downside. Above is 115. That's the breakout towards the upside. So just be careful right here. It has like a both look, right? What I mean by both look is that if you look at different time frames, you're going to see bullish charts in AMD, and if you look at different time frames, you're going to see bearish charts. So right now, I would think on the hourly, this looks still bullish to me. On the 5 minute, still looks bullish to me. But if you go back towards the daily, that's where you could be like, okay, this looks more like a bear trap above 115. That's why I mean by it's both ways.
Let's see. You've got 9 here trying to break out. I took some shares on the E-Trade side. I went ahead and grabbed some at 310. Going to see if I can get a fill here on TradeStation as well.
I'm not the bearishly.
On 9?
not,
yeah.
Yeah, the spot was 310. I actually missed it.
Yep, I just got filled 300 shares on TradeStation at 310. Let's see where I'm going to put my... Let's go ahead and let's see what my other shares are doing. I have red today. Red.
AAL bouncing here. I could re-short at VWAP and just add to the trade. But if it gets back above 1622s here, I'm just going to take the profit and we'll look for another trade here.
So you've got CF. If you went and took equities with me here, our stop is about 98.69. It's kind of flirting with it. Maybe about $1 away or so. But now you've got CF testing VWAP. If you're uncomfortable, you can take, $120 loss on 100 shares if you'd like. I'm going to hang on to it. I'm okay with the risk. But I am red, and even my unrealized openings are red at the moment. The CF was green by about $80 or so, but we didn't take it because we wanted 200.
All right, guys, I'm going to take a swing trade here, guys. So this is a
I
swing
took some
trade.
9 at 312.
Nice.
So hoping for a pop here.
So I've got my first. I got my
Uranium's
total take
popping.
off. What is it?
UEC popped. Look at the candle on UEC. I wonder if CCJ is the same thing.
Nice.
Yep. Those continue to pop. Wow. Nine popping now. Spot at 15. I think if 315 falls, we might be good on 9.
All right.
American onshore completion production service provider.
Orders out for a swing trade in Dole. I'll let you guys know if I do get a fill. My orders are leveled in here. This is what I try to do sometimes when I feel like a stock doesn't have that much liquidity. I'm not going to go ahead and jump onto the offer size. I'm going to actually put some orders and level them on the bid. So I have orders at 65s and 60s to get filled here. We'll see what happens.
There's 9.
9.
At 317 now.
318 is going to be your upper standard deviation of the VWAP at this point. Looking at the chart, 324 is your first spot, and then 337 from previous days. So the 324 spot was from Thursday.
All right, looking for a pullback back between 88s here for Tyson Foods. This looks really good as a cup and handle pattern, guys. If you take a look here, you got your kind of cup action, then you just got your handle. I'm looking for a pullback to 88 so I can get in and look to ride it up there towards 88.60s or 88.70. So it'd be about a 10 cent, 20 cent risk there for a 70-cent gain. That's a 5-to-1 trade. I'll be looking to nail it. We'll see what happens. See if I can get this pullback here.
You've got the Qs coming on down, testing the 348.
SPY looks like it's in about the crack, guys. So if you're looking for downside action, look for that to continue here. AMD rejected there from that level there, so you guys can see that. So did NVIDIA. Let me see if Tesla's back. Yeah, Tesla never got towards that. That would have been a great short on Tesla, guys. We would have been already up about 10 points there. Just missed it, guys. It happens sometimes. Can't get upset.
The same thing looks like you could have played the same thing on Apple, frankly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check out your Apple chart. See if that same trade were to work.
No, I did. My VWAP's a little bit higher on that Apple.
Gotcha.
Someone told me same thing, but I agree. I mean, you're going to see a lot of these charts look like this. Look at the square. Like a lot of them should be very similar charts now. Downside looks is what I'd be watching. Financial services probably are cracking too because they were looking towards the upside. You see BAC kind of close towards that VWAP fade kind of look. I do like that. All right, just got in Tyson, guys. Tyson Foods got in there at 87.98s there, guys. Going to hold there towards the bottom of 87.78s. Ooh, I think am I still in it? Yeah, I still got it. Let's see this AAL. Boom. I looked up to see if my stop got hit because I put a stop at I put it right there at 1623s when this was up there right here, and it just rejected from it. It's going back down to the 1609s. We might get that 16 crack now. I've been looking for that 16 crack on AAL. That would be a really good win for us. So I'm just trying to let that last little bit work there. Did get in Tyson here on this pullback. This is for a cup and handle type of trade. So you can see here the cup action on the pullback. You want to see that hold that trend there, hold that support now. No matter what, I don't want to see 78s break, and I'm looking for it to break through the high side of 88.33s going towards that 88.70.
All right, real quick on you've got CEI, by the way, cracking $1 on the 9 side on E-Trade. I'm going to go ahead and close out my whole position here at the 319s, especially because I still have TradeStation here. So out from 310s to 319s on 9. CEI, keeping an eye on it. If it breaks the $1, comes back to test it, might be interested in that one. CF trying to come back above VWAP. Almost took us out. Look how close it was. Maybe about 70 cents away, if even that. No, about 50 cents away from stopping us out. But CF above 100 again. Let's keep it going.
All right, SPY finding a little bit of bounce there, so really paying close attention to that AAL. Want to make sure that I take some profit there. If anything, if it's not going to break the 16s, we need to go ahead and just take what we get.
I grabbed 50 more shares on the TradeStation side on CF. Average fill is 101.08.
All right, guys, going to go ahead and cover out here on American Airlines. We're starting to see some sizing come in there, and I just don't want it to come back towards our level on the VWAP, which is 1626. So we're taking it off there. Nice win in AAL today. Let's keep moving.
324 on deck here for 9. If we break this, I'll probably close my trade as well, Zunaid.
Nice.
There it goes. There's 324. Let's see if we pop here at all. This has been a great little grind here on 9. 325 now, 330 now on 9.
Yep. I'm out 327 on 9.
Boom, baby.
Whew. So that's what green looks like.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Ugh.
All right, look for the market is trying to find a little bit of bounce here right now. It needs to get through the 443s on the downside to see that continued flush. I stepped out of AAL just to get myself a nice $50 cushion on the day. Let's start working. Let's try to make some money here. AMD just rejected off that VWAP. I did like that look. Let's see if Tesla's starting to flush down there. Apple, did it make it back there? Apple's starting to flush. AMD is the one that looks like the best one for me to try to attack here on the short side. I'm looking for a little bounce here towards 1470s to get short. It's already flushing. Missed it there. NIO getting cracked also today. Wanted to short some of these Chinese names. That Baba short off the VWAP would have been a monster. Nike breaking down. I know it had earnings today. Looks like it wants to continue. We'll see what happens there. That's Disney. Talked about Disney potentially for a short. That would have been a beautiful VWAP fade there. Multiple rejections there on Disney from the VWAP. Right off the 1 minute. 3 rejections. Flush down towards the low.
I'm out 9 at 322. So I didn't quite get the 330, 324, but 10 cents on that one. 10 cents on 9. So that was a nice call out there, Zunaid.
Thank you. Thank you.
We were watching that from the beginning too. You were right on it. See, you can do these. You can do these.
I'm getting used to it, man. I'm getting used to it. It's fun. I'm not going to lie, because the moves they're fun.
Well, see, that's exactly it, right? And the thing is that once you develop a feel for this, like right there, I would have liked to have gotten out at the 330 pop. I probably should have been a little bit quicker on that. And I should have been a little bit quicker on the buy. I probably would have had a 15-cent trade instead of a 10-cent trade right there. But when you get the feel of this, you can enter real quickly, feel really good about your entry, and then turn around and just scalp them. And then you can start building them on top of each other. And that's when it really gets fun.
Yeah.
When you trade the same ticker back and forth all day, and you're like, wow, it's plus $1,000 in this ticker. I like that ticker.
You know, that's something I want to do. Like, have one day. And Mitch, I don't know if you had a trade, so please interrupt me if you do.
Good, dude. I'm just missing a bunch of shorts.
But I would love maybe just a day where I'm just trading one ticker. Doesn't matter if it's a large cap, small cap, whatever, but just one ticker and just focus on that. I haven't done that. By the way, CF finally in the green, especially after we averaged 101.08. Now trading on 101.31. So up about $50 on that trade on CF. And CEI back down below $1 and 9 back at 324s.
We're doing it, folks.
Look at Home Depot's rug pull. Look at that.
God. Look at that, Mitch.
Boom.
Is that today?
The bottom's in, bro.
That is today. That's the minute chart.
The bottom's in. Look at all this red. Look at all this red right here. Look, the bottom's in, guys. The bottom's in.
Mitch is not having any attitude today.
No,
nope.
It's just there was about like 90% of traders on this weekend that were just like 4% days in 1 week. This is it. This is the bottom. Guys, just try to be a little bit.
So let me ask you this.
I think you got to be cautious here.
What level to you would make you feel like, hey, I believe the bottom is in, right? So I've got my SPY pulled up here, but you show me yours.
I'll show you exactly what you need to be watching. This is where I think a lot of people are making the mistake. Is they're looking at levels, and this is the only thing I'm watching, guys. The only thing I'm watching are these things right here. Above SMA 50 and above SMA 200. This has gone towards 34%. Max in the last like 2 months, 3 months. This has gone nowhere near this level. It was only staying below 40, and now it's actually at a higher level. This is what got some people turning around. Technical traders were starting to pay attention to this. They started seeing the market breadth getting a little bit better. And so what I started paying attention to today, I told myself, I said, if we close above 50% on this SMA 50 level, I would start getting bullish, because this would start pushing on this SMA 200 closer towards the 40%. And if that starts happening, then all right. So that we got 60% bearish stocks, 40% bullish stocks. Okay, we could start seeing that change over, and then maybe potentially getting majority of stocks going into bullish zone. But to me, until that change happens, I'm still bearish. I still think that we could go into recession here in the economy. I still think that inflation is insane levels. I still think that supply chains are going to suffer really, and we haven't even begun to see the effects of the Russian war. I think we're just seeing what the kind of the rumors of what should happen, but we're not seeing the effects yet of the supply chain issues. And I think you're going to see even worse things come. So to me, there's nothing that points to the upside. The only thing that pointed to the upside was oversold territory and seeing bounces in the SPY. But I didn't really see anything catalyst-wise why we should be up. Some people wanted to put clarity on the Fed, but hey, I mean, to each his own, right?
So for you, it's not a level. For you, it's the SMAs and how many stocks are above or below the 50 and the 200. Because if you pull up mine here, so you've got the low on 24th,
I got
410, right? And then you had another March 8 coming back low, and you can see the test over here on these two sides of the 215s. Thankfully for me, the way that I trade, I don't care if there's a bottom or a high or whatever. I'm 98% cash. It does not matter to me. Ryan and I were actually talking about how we sleep better if we don't have any positions open at night. But yeah, you're trading at about 443. Now you can see you had that pop before from 420s all the way to about 460 almost, and then you had that drop all the way to 410s. I was hoping we would get a test of 400 so I could start actually investing in my ROTs and things like that. But we'll see if it actually comes back down and tests at least the March 8th lows or the 24th. But
all right,
it's
so
interesting
real
you
quick,
mentioned the EMA side of things.
NRSN is being mentioned in the chat. We did talk about it briefly here. Took it off the screen. It's going crazy. It's halted now. So be careful. Be careful if you're in this. Halt here just happened.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we'll watch
therapeutic
this one.
stock.
We'll watch this one come out, and then real quick, BBLG, Zunaid's BBLG just snapped high. Great intraday formation, pushing towards highs. So Zunaid, if you're in that,
I sure am. You can see it right here. My take profit is about 391. Okay. So now the question always becomes, do you take profits here? Do you wait for it? Forget it. I'm just going to stay greedy.
Here's the one thing I wanted to close our discussion here on SPY. We can come back to your open trade.
You're good. What's up?
This is one of the other things that was getting people. You were asking Mitch why he was bullish on SPY. He was telling you about the moving averages. Zunaid, you had specific levels. If you draw a trend line on the daily from SPY from January 3rd, which I believe was the first trading day of the year. Yes, first trading day of the year this year, and you draw it through the highs, you can see that on March 17th, on my birthday, actually, we broke through this trend line and we closed above it. And we've closed above it several times now. And so this change in
real quick
here.
I'm out. BBLG out at 391. Sorry, go
Great
ahead.
Great trade, by the way.
Thank you.
This sentiment reversal right here is what's getting people. And one of the other things that you'll see is that the volume started to step up on this reversal just a little bit. Now I want to see where we close today, right? I want a couple of more days because I think maybe we back test this trend line. We'll see. But I want to continue to see this volume pour in here. To me, that's what determines if we're at a bottom. If the volume starts to expand as the price comes into a support level, that can signify a sentiment shift.
Gotcha.
All that is already priced in. They know way more than we know about supply chains months ago. I don't think that's how supply chains work, man.
They know way more about we do than what is priced in.
The Fed and that inflation's already priced in.
And I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. Priced in is it's kind of like art. It's so open to interpretation on how things can react. By the way, CEI, I really want to take a crack at it here near VWAP. But I'm already nice and green on a couple of trades after I started bloody red. So I'm going to stay away from it. But if you do like CEI, God damn it. Y'all are going to make me do it.
All right. Going to try to take a trade here in grocery stores. This is off SFM Sprouts. Going to try to take a trade here there. Get it right here. Looking for a move to 55s here, but I might have to just jump on the 60.
You've got BBLG coming back to test near VWAP 372s after we took profits in the 390s. It did test $4 and then reject.
So that's your spot now is $4, right?
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So if it can find any footing here, a curl back towards 4, it might give you another opportunity to trade this.
Because I enjoy wasting money live with you guys, I went ahead and took just 1,000 shares on CEI. Got filled at, this is so weird to say, 9337. I will call it 97 cents, whatever.
BBLG coming back up towards highs here. BBLG.
$4. Is it going to crack it? Is it going to crack it?
All right. It's going to be tough.
Ooh. Starter on there. SFM Sprouts Farms.
Q's coming down. 347s below.
If there was a single stock you would buy today, what would it be? Money Mitch.
SPY, baby. It's not a stock, but I don't care.
I think this goes higher here.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
I'm going to try it here. This is dangerous. There it goes. Out. Oh, man.
How was your fill, though?
What?
How was your fill?
My fill was garbage on the way out. My fill was 4 on the way up, 404 on the way out. I got 4 cents. That actually, and I tried to get out at 407, but it pulled it on me, and now it's pulling. I warned you that this was dangerous.
Nice
Not
trade though.
really. It was that's what we call that lunch money, Zunaid. That's what we call lunch money. I would have liked to have seen more of a pop, or maybe we get a halt fest like we got at NRSN.
Well, speaking of which, NRSN is no longer halted, so let's go there. NRSN. That's not it. All right. If it comes back to test here, we'll grab some shares. And CEI, I did go ahead and grab some shares there, as you can see. My out on profits is going to be about 99.50. We'll see if we can get maybe, like Ryan said, lunch money on it. Which broker are you trading with through TradingView? Trade Station is what I'm trading with. So I use E-Trade. That's my main broker that I'm comfortable with. But just to like have fun with you guys in the chat, I go ahead and grab some shares so you guys can see my stops and things like that as well. I feel like it makes it a little bit more reliable, I guess. I don't know.
Mitch, do you know what's going on with Zunaid's mic there? I feel like the compression is off, and like occasionally he'll get louder and quieter under his own. He's not doing anything different.
Could be a couple of things. Could be noise gate.
Hands free, baby. It ain't me.
Yeah, it's just noise gate.
Yeah, we need to adjust that.
BBLG is coming down here, Ryan, to the 350s.
Yeah, I saw. Let's see what we have for VWAP. 358. It's right at VWAP actually here.
I'm gonna grab 200 shares. Let's have a little bit of fun and see if we can get a bounce.
Oh, you see that bid come in there? Look at that.
Let's see. What are we trying to get out, Ryan? What are we trying to get out? 392? I think that's what we're going to try to get out, Ryan.
Big bid at 370. Boy, there's some games being played here. Wow, that was some good timing.
BWAP. Whoop, whoop. Now, let's see if we can actually get the profit. That's what matters, because unrealized gains don't pay for lunch, you know?
That big bid still at 370. What was your fill on that entry, Zunaid?
361.
Nice, man. Nice. You got 9 cents there on that big bid. And then you notice that happened as soon as they brought that thing into VWAP. That's one of the reasons we like watching VWAP so much.
Oh yeah. Yep. And you can see that VWAP bounce on CEI right over here as well. It wasn't exactly, I may have missed it by about a couple of pennies, but you can see right around that area it bounced. Q starting to keep on marching low. Come on, BBLG. Just give us 392. You know, part of me wants to stay greedy and see if I can get a pop above 4. Let's see what the daily and things like that look
Huge
like.
bid at 370, my man. Oh my God, they just did. Yeah, I think you're good for hire in this name. Honestly, that was a great
Question
buy.
is how high?
Great
Thank
buy.
you. Well, see, look, this one on the beginning of the year, January 10th, went all the way up to about what is that candle here? About 678. Do we stay greedy or no?
They're working on that bid at 370. They're working on that bid.
They need to start working on the ask and take me out at 392.
Yeah, I think if 370 falls, you might have a pop down or a drop. A drop, excuse me. But that's a big bid there, and it's real. They're hitting it. There's prints there. We're working on it. There it goes. Man, this is what Eric goes. Wow. This thing is just.
Yep.
Well, right
Good
there.
Good call out on watching the level 2, though. That was fun.
Yeah, we'll see that right there is a lesson on exactly why you don't chase. That's literally the reason you don't chase is because of rug pulls like that. Huge bid there too, just unable to get out there. Chris Wood saying UEC was nice. Awesome. We are actually still in that. We remember price on those contracts we got was 30 cents. You're looking at 50 by 55 right now on those contracts. We are still in those. Aaron is asking, do we not have a Zoom meeting? Aaron, the happy hours are Monday through Thursday. We do not do them on Friday. We have a company-wide meeting here on Friday that I attend. So Monday through Thursday on the happy hours for pro members. And if you haven't checked that out, you're a pro member, check it out. And if you don't have pro, check out pro. Nine looks like it's trying to find some footing at 310 and curl back. And I let's not give up on BBLG either. Here we go, but right back through VWAP, or tried to. Looked like there was a big offer there at 360 on BBLG. See if they can take it back there. There's still some selling. Big volume on this name today. Interesting. New highs for UEC. Awesome.
All right, let's keep it going. All right, guys, around 10:45, we're going to be having a trader join us. So definitely stay tuned, guys. We're going to be getting some perspective from Andrew Moss of CMT. So stick around, guys. He'll be coming on at 10:45, and then we'll be getting out of here at 11, getting you over to some futures trading. It's about to be 10:30. These guys will be wrapping up probably in the next 15 minutes. Like always, guys, support us as we support you guys out there. Hit that thumbs on up. Let's keep it going. The only way we know how to do it here on Benzinga. Smash on up. Support us as we support you guys. And don't forget, add us on Twitter. We talk about stocks all the time, man.
And Zunaid and I started doing Twitter spaces on Thursday.
Exactly. So if you guys look at the top there, you guys see all our handles up there. You guys can add us. And by all means, ask us questions. All right, just got a trigger on UAL. Let me see what's going on in the UAL. Oh, looks like it just broke through 40.66. Looks like I should have held on to my AAL. Sold it a little earlier. Finally got through that 16 here. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Not going to be mad about that one. Good trade on American Airlines today. Give me something to believe in. Hey.
So it looks like BBLG broken now as it continues to trade below the VWAP. how much profit are you guys target per day, Zunaid? Like $50 a day. So Ash, so I try not to have profit targets because what ends up happening is that I end up chasing that. And then sometimes on days like I also hold things that I'm swinging and investing in. So on days where some of those are down or not moving, sometimes my chasing a specific profit target will actually be detrimental, right? Because I'll be looking and I'll be like, oh, I got to get this $400 or this $500, whatever your target is. I got to get this today. And because I'm down, I feel like I'm more active. So I try not to do that. But I understand where your question is coming from. And considering we're talking here about a lot of these little scalp trades that add up, I'm generally pretty happy. If I'm closing day trades for a profit of anywhere between $400 and $500 in a given day, I generally feel pretty good about that. If I only get $200 or $300 in a given day, I still feel good. But I understand that I could very easily lose that the next day. I mean, there were a couple of days at the beginning of January where I think I was on like a 12 losing trade streak, just something absurd like that. I just kept getting smoked. So, well, I appreciate where you're coming from a strategy perspective there. I would try to take a more holistic picture of it because generally speaking, you're not going to be able to be up every single day. And the last thing that you want to do is start compounding your problem if you have an off day. In some cases, if you have an off day, it's just better to put it away and come back when you're adjusted and ready to go. So I would say a couple $100, generally a pretty good starting off point. There's a chart out there that tells you how much. Let me see if I can find this chart.
Yeah, for me, so yeah, I used to do like dollar amounts. Then I started focusing on percentage gains on the account. So like aiming for at least 1% gain if I can, right? 0.5% to 1% gain on my portfolio. So if I'm, that way as the portfolio grows, hopefully so does my P&L. I dropped a link in the chat. This is what I'm trying to focus on. To me, I think this is like the business mindset way of trading, and that's calculating R. And that's in terms of risk reward. We talk about that often here on the show, but it's pretty much like if someone asks you like, hey, are you a profitable trader? You can tell them, yeah, like, I'm up R. It's like a unit of how much you're up and whatnot. I dropped the link. It'll explain it a lot better than I can. So that's what I'm trying to make my focus.
Is that R?
Yeah, R.
Like a risk base. Yeah, Jeremy Newsom does that too. He does a great job teaching young traders.
Yeah. So for me at the moment, it's percentage based. I try to aim for 1% growth every day. But R is something I want to focus on.
All right, guys, I'm going to put out a former parabolic stock that I feel like it's setting
real quick. Sorry, I got out of a trade. I took profits on CEI. The limit hit. Looks like the limit hit on 99.48. So we are out on CEI. If you can see why I got into the trade, right near VWAP, profit, right near under $1. And that's why I'm out.
Stopped out of TSN, guys. Stopped out of Tyson there. RKDA, I feel like it's setting on up for a bigger move here. If you take a look here at the hourly, you see that sideways consolidation for about 8 days there. Now finally starting to get it back above that. But if you take a look at the daily chart, this is what I really like. Nice setup on the daily. Huge volume came in on that big push up there towards the 195. We'll see if it gets moving, but I just want to put it out there before, you guys see it later on in the day, and then they'll be talking about it. I feel like this is going to be one that could get moving here.
Oh, this CF trade of mine, it was in the profits. It was in the green. We didn't take it. Went to red. Came back, and it was in the green nicely at 102s. Didn't take it. Now it's coming back in the red. Might end up paying the price on this one, but for now, we're up about $45. Realize we came back from the red that we were in, but this CF might be ugly for us. But let's see if I've got any other positions in BBLG. Of course, that's another one I'm still in. Let's see what that's looking like. BBLG. I forgot about that one, pal. Looks like that one's coming down. Look how close it got to our stop loss there. 330s is our stop loss. It's below VWAP. Might close it here. Yeah, we'll let it ride for 10 cents. That's another $20. That's fine. CF trying to come back up.
Good Lord, man.
What's up?
I'm almost at the point, like, why do I even trade other stocks?
Instead of Tesla?
Nope. Instead of BTU, man. You guys hear me talk about it daily. Look at that.
Is that the VWAP that you have in the
Yeah,
image?
dude.
That's a
Zunaid,
beautiful
how
one.
pretty is that?
Yeah, that's really nice. By the way, stopped out on BBLG, took a loss there of about $60.
There's not many times you get it that pretty. I mean,
Yeah,
look at
no,
that.
and look at, you can also see the consolidation on
Look
that
at
as
that
well.
breakout.
That
Look at
chart's
that
incredible.
breakout.
It's a consolidation for me in your VWAP.
And it does it all. It does it like often. It's not like it does it once, guys. If we look back, I can find like multiple VWAP bounce trays on this. So
I promise I'm not a creep, but what'd you just do, Ryan?
I was trying to scalp HUSN on a curl through 290, took a 2-cent loss.
I love how quick your
not working
trades
very
are.
well. Sorry?
I said I love how quick your trades are. It's kind of like, because for me, like I'm sitting here on CF trying to figure out what my life is going to look like if I'm going to eat, decent food tonight or not. But for you, you are like in and out. I love it.
Okay. So, I mean, I know that you're kidding.
Wait, no, I'm not. No. I'm being very genuine.
Determine what you're going to eat based on.
Oh, you mean that? Oh, yeah, that I'm exaggerating. But the compliment to you was not exaggerated.
Well, I mean, again, like the thing here is that like by doing that, Zunaid, sometimes I'm wrong, right? I mean, like for example, the HUSN, I'm trying to get it to pop 10 cents. So I take 1,000 shares. If it comes back in 2 cents, I don't want to hold that. I don't want that to get any worse. I just want to cut it and see if it sets up again. Spot. And here we are. We're right back to that spot, right? So if it takes out 295 here, I'm going to look like a dummy because I took the loss on it. But it is what it is. That's one of the ways that I manage my risk is I keep myself protected. I keep my stops tight in certain cases when it comes to shorter term trades. You can see 295 people buying here now. So we'll see if this pops above it.
What's up, Enver? Shout out to Enver. That is one hardworking man.
He doesn't sleep.
Sleep. I'll email him. Like Ryan knows this. I work in the night. So I'll email him something at like 1 a.m. my time. By the time I wake up, it's in my inbox. I'm like, God damn. So shout out to Enver, man.
Here we go, Zunaid. So perfect little lesson.
What was it? HUSA?
HUSN. And now it actually just popped to 299. So you said you loved how quick my trades are. You love it when it works.
Yes.
You love it when it's green. But when you get stopped out on stuff like that really quickly, you tend not to love it. And it's the reality. Everything's a give and take, right? Everything's a give and take. Just like size. If you take 100 shares and the stock goes up 10 cents, you're like, I'll just hold. If you take 10,000 shares and the stock goes up 10 cents, you're like, I might take this.
Long BBIG.
Yeah. Ooh. Mitch trying to have a little bit of fun here. All right, 285s. Nice little support there.
All right, so I'll show you what got me excited, guys. 10,000 shares at 293, then followed by 10,000 shares at 294, followed by 26,000 shares at 294. So someone is taking a step on up there. So I'm going to take up the step with them. Let's do it. Let's use the bottoming action. You guys know how I love to look for 3 or 4 bottoming actions trying to take out the low. So if you take a look here, you see that 1 action, 2 action, 3 action, and then you started coming up. You started coming on up. It started making everything look bullish. Then it comes back and tests it one more time. Look how you come right here to that wick, and you quickly reverse from there. I look for those quick reversals to show me momentum. Someone stepping on up and taking the trade. Now the bulls are in control unless it breaks at 286 in my eyes.
Adam is asking, how big are your guys' typical trades compared to your overall trading capital? Adam, that's a great question, and that's something that each individual trader is going to have to figure out on their own. A lot of that is dependent upon the capital. I generally don't like to take more than 5% of my entire account value in a given day trade, but sometimes I break that rule depending on the price of the stock. So, like if a stock is $3 and I take 2,000 shares of that, that's about $6,000 of capital. Generally speaking, I'm hoping for 10 to 15 cent pop on that $3 stock. The stock might trade a little bit differently if it's $7, for example, right? You might be able to more easily get a 20 or 25 or even 30 cent pop, and I might still take 1 or even 2,000 shares. So it would actually take much more than I would if the stock was $3 on a percentage basis. However, this might not work for everyone. if you have an account that's $2,000 and you're talking about taking only 5% of that in a trade, that might not work. When I had a account that was $2,000 when I was starting out, in some cases I would take 50% of my entire account in a trade. But you really, there's a whole other set of risks with doing that. So some of the things that you have to do is you have to figure that out over the course of time. As far as investments go, I really, that one's a little bit tougher for me, because when I take an investment, there's a story, there's a thesis that I've bought into in order to put my money where my mouth is. And I really have to be careful about position sizing in that case, because if you love a story, it's very easy to go too far in. And if that story cuts back on you, that could cause you some pain. So I try to be a little bit more careful with my longer term investments.
For me, it'd be about, so I trade options. So I would say, let's say if you have a $50,000 account, right? Just an example, just hypothetical for math here. I would probably take contracts that are about, let's just say $1,000 to $1,500 worth. So about 2% or so of my account size. Now that's if the trade goes to zero, I just lost about 2%. Obviously I have a stop loss unless I'm playing lottos on Fridays and whatnot. Then I take maybe about 1% of my thing. But typically 2 to 3% is how my options are in terms of size based on my account. And then my YOLOs are about 1% of my portfolio.
Gavin is asking, what's the average amount of shares you're buying per position? Again, a lot of that depends on a position. Yeah. When we're doing these short-term scalps, I like 1,000 or 2,000 share lots. If it's a 1,000 share lot, every cent that it moves is $10 of profit or loss. So if you're looking for a 10 to 15 cent move and you're trading 1,000 share lot, you're looking at anywhere between $100 and $150 of potential profit. Now it's time for you to figure out your risk on that scale. I wouldn't want to risk the same amount. So generally I would risk maybe 3 cents to the downside, right? So I have about a 30 cent or $30 risk versus $100 to $150 upside. And that's if everything works well. Sometimes it doesn't. We've seen some of these small caps where the rug gets pulled out, where even if you had a stop, it might be sitting out there unfilled. Every situation is different.
Yeah. And that's where the R that we try to talk about earlier, that's where that really comes in, because 100 shares in Tesla is not the same as 100 shares in BBLG, right? So that size of the positioning you want to focus on more. That R is what you really want to focus on versus how many shares of a position you have or a company or whatever. So look that up. Look up R, what R means in trading. I dropped the link. Matter of fact, I'll do it again. Let me go back to our YouTube.
And then there's an
Hop in the chat again. Please. You're good, buddy. I'm done.
Joe was asking, can you tell us how long you've been trading full time? Joe, I would say that by your definition, technically, I don't think I am trading full time, because I have another full-time job through Benzinga. So I don't know.
Means you got 2 full-time jobs, man.
Well, that's effectively where I was getting at, Mitch. I don't know if this meets his criteria, because it would be dishonest for me to say that I rely on my trading for all of my income. That's not
exactly
true. And in fact, having another source of income has allowed me to figure out my own risk more appropriately, because I'm not the trading account is not everything that I have. There's another source of funds there, and that really, really helps my mental state. That works for me. It doesn't necessarily work for everyone. Some of my mentors, all they do is trade. So they are literally relying on their ability to trade. No, they don't have another job.
I think it's important what you're saying there, Ryan, especially for the day traders out there that are kind of going through, let's say, small accounts and things like that. One of the things that I think hurt me when I first started trading, and I'll be as transparent as can be, guys, is that when I first started trading, I was in college. I barely had savings to begin with, let alone trading with that savings. Yeah. So that's what I used to do. And trust me, I learned the lesson plenty of times, guys, that if you're going to trade with all your money, a lot of times the pressure is just going to be way too much for you to continuously be into the green. And so what Ryan's giving you guys there is such gold there. Having a different source of income can go ahead and take a lot of that pressure off. Let's say if you're able to pay your bills completely with your job, and then you're able to go ahead and use trading money to go ahead and take the pressure off and just try to work on your skills as a trader. That's what I still do to this day. I don't use money that's going to hurt me and going to get me into worries about if I'm paying the bills or not. No, what I use is money that is no longer that money that I have that attachment, that strong attachment, that if I lose on one trade, I'm like, oh man, that's my money, I can't let it go. No, that I no longer have that feeling. And a lot of that is not using all that money, right? And so a lot of that also is what Ryan says there. Like for me, I still use sometimes up to, like, let's say 10% on a trade, but that's just because I have different limits, right? It's all about your capital, but just set limits for yourself and start building up that rules is going to be so beneficial in the long run.
And Mitch, that rule is not set in stone. That rule can be bent. Let's take Tesla, for example. Let's say there was a setup on Tesla and the group, all of us took some shares here. I would feel pretty strongly that I would take a position that's more than 10% my entire account, but it's Tesla. It's a little bit different. We're talking about a stock that's nearly $1,000 a share. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Sometimes you're forced into it by what you're buying. But with Tesla, a stock like that, I know I'm going to be able to get in and out. This is not one of these little stocks that can just shoot up or shoot down and get halted all of a sudden. And now my money's tied up in a halt. It's completely different, and it needs to be treated as such.
Just added there, BBIG guys, add there at 298, puts me at 296. Let's let this go. Let's see if we can get a breakout above 3. We'll see if we get that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Ryan and Zunaid, I appreciate you guys, like always, battling through the markets, and we'll keep going at it. Well, I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Like always, guys, keep hitting that like button, supporting these guys that come on over and spend the day with us, especially the morning time. So give us the thumbs up. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring a different trader for us. So I'll get you guys on out of here. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Zunaid.
See ya.
All right, now let's go ahead. And one of the things that we like to do on live trading is always bring some different perspective. We're going to go ahead and dive into here. We're going to bring on Andy Moss, guys. If you guys want to check him out, you guys will see his Twitter handle there. I definitely tell you guys to give it a follow because, as you guys can see from my profile, I follow very few. People that I do follow, I feel like consistently put out value, and that's what I'm looking for. So that's why I'm bringing on here Andy Moss. What's going on, man?
Hey, good morning, Mitch. How you doing today?
Welcome to have you on. I've been enjoying to see your post, and really what I will always like to see is kind of some background also coming in with the information. Not only do you give your opinion, but you do bring in other tweets from different traders that I think really just kind of solidify your opinions in the market. And I think that's the important part, right? We can all talk about opinions, but when we start using some stats and some other traders to kind of bring into perspective, I feel like it opens the eyes for traders out there.
I agree. There's a lot of really smart traders and analysts on Twitter. It's been a fantastic platform to get to meet people and see what other folks are looking at. Find some really top-notch analysis. And as technicians, we kind of tell ourselves we don't care what the why is, right? Follow the price action. Everything is in there. But when you're trying to build conviction and put a trade plan together or a game plan together, having some reasoning, having a little context behind the action certainly does help.
Definitely, I agree. I mean, it's just one thing that we always have to at least keep in our forefront. What's going on with the overall market sentiment and how that's working towards our technicals. I know that you have a CMT, and I think that's very important. It's one thing that I'm going through right now, about to take my level 1 testing.
Right.
And I think it's important, you guys out there, that you guys always want to build your skills. I think the CMT is definitely a great way to learn the technicals. And it's not going to be 100%, getting a CMT isn't going to get you guys all the gains that you guys want. But one thing that even I've done is get a better understanding. What did you get out of the CMT, Andy?
It's a fantastic education and a really great community. Everybody that I've met is fantastic. It's, and that goes for the trading community overall. I've never been a part of a more supportive, giving group of professionals, and the CMT Association demonstrates that over and over again. Technical analysis was something I've always had an interest in. You're exactly right. Getting a CMT does not translate into trading gains, but it's a fantastic platform to learn more about charting, more about intermarket analysis, meet more people. It really will help you level up your skills as far as reading the markets and putting together some good analysis and trade plans.
Definitely. So let's go ahead and then let's talk a little bit about the market sentiment. How are you seeing out there, Andy? And what do you feel about the market? I know today we're having a little bit of a pullback, but what a move last week. And I mean, I'm paying attention to the market breadth. What are you paying attention to?
A lot of the same things. I was listening in a little bit to your conversations there earlier this morning, and no secret, we're all looking at similar things, right?
Mm-hmm.
This week sure feels a lot better than we did this time last week. Really big move, and to give us some gains back and see a little profit taking here is not unexpected. The bull bear spread in the AAII sentiment survey comes up. No surprise there. That is, sentiment follows price, right? Buying begets more buying, selling begets more selling. And so after a move like we've had over the last 4 days, not at all surprised to see folks start feel a little better about things. Still a long way to go, right? We're coming from pretty low levels. Folks are but judged by that. Market participants have been more bearish even than when the COVID lows were in. And certainly no shortage of reasons out there to be a little skeptical. But what that could translate into is more buying as people come around. If we continue to go up further from here, the FOMO starts setting in and people are afraid they're missing the move and they start buying. And that's, the cycle continues. More buying equals more buying equals more buying until something shifts it again.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that I think the FOMO already started hitting at some point late last week. It definitely started coming on in. You started seeing a lot of traders saying that they got the bottom there. And so, like always, on Twitter, we're always going to hear the heroes that called the bottom, the perfect bottom. But I'm from here. I'm kind of just wondering. I am kind of in the mixed boat right now. I'm not really completely bearish, but I do see economical factors that could point towards the downside further out. And then I also am looking at the technicals. To me, I think this was more of a technical move on the oversoldness that we saw on a lot of the stocks. I mean, if we take a look at that, you could see a lot of the stocks down towards their lows, and a lot of them below their 200-day SMA. What do you feel? Do you feel that this was kind of more of a Fed move, or was it a technical bottom? What are you kind of seeing here?
There's certainly a lot of evidence showing that this could be a technical bounce. Now, whether it fizzles out and we go back down, I mean, we're still in a bounce in the context of an overall bear market situation. So it still has a lot to prove. But when you look at for instance, I pointed out on the Qs and the IWM, there was a Fibonacci retracement, 38.2 from the move from the COVID lows to the recent highs. And then that coupled with the anchored VWAP from COVID lows, that was a very sensible spot for those two indices to bounce. The SPY didn't quite get down that far, so it didn't line up as well there. But for the other two, it was a very reasonable spot to expect a bounce, I think, and that's exactly what we saw. Where we go from here, who knows? Plenty of reasons to be skeptical, like we said earlier. There's a long list of concerns from inflation to the Fed to supply chain issues and on down the list. So, whether we can overcome that and go on, I'm looking for that, but still has to prove itself for sure.
Excellent. That's something that we'll definitely keep on watch. Is there certain sectors or industries that are just standing out to you? Maybe you're seeing some rotation going into these, or some certain areas that you're just trying to see if we can get some movement out. I know that one of the areas that I'm looking at is the industrials. I've been seeing a little bit of leaking going into their big names like DE, CAT. I'm also taking a look at some of the railroad names. What are you looking at, Andy?
When I go through the charts and try to find the relative strength and the areas I want to focus on, I'm seeing a recurring theme over the last 4 to 6 weeks, and that's staples, food, from agriculture to distribution. Energy, of course, everybody's looking at oil. The oil prices are going, up and up and up, and that's translates also over into materials, metals and mining and that kind of thing. So, and the utilities. So it's really been, and this is a level, an area of concern is the strength has been in the defensive areas of the market. So last week, we see a little more rotation into the more growth-oriented areas. Technology bounced a little bit, was led by the Qs there. And so that's a step, maybe we're starting to see that rotation back to the more optimistic sides of the market. And we want to see if that continues.
Definitely, I got to agree. I've been looking at those two areas also, farming products, agriculture, food distribution, the grocery stores today moving on up. Definitely, we're going to keep watching this. Do you feel this is also having to do with maybe an inflationary outlook going forward?
Oh, no question about it. Inflation is, I believe that's factoring into everyone's decision-making process as we try to figure out how do we keep up with and hopefully outpace inflation. We see it in the things that we buy the most, food and energy. And so that's definitely a factor.
All right. The last area I would ask you about, Andy, is one area that we've been focusing on, and it's been a wonderful area to be in, is basic materials. We've been watching the continued strength. How do you see that sector?
It's another inflation hedge. This is, the prices are going up as the manufacturers have to buy more. And if, the supply chain limits that, then we're not going to get much relief there. So that's another key area to watch. We need to see some relief there for the rest of the market to be able to advance higher, I think.
Definitely. Now, I will give you guys definitely, you guys see that Twitter handle, just check it out for yourself. If you guys don't find value on that profile, let me know, because I felt like I'm definitely getting value, and I think you guys could see it for yourself. Check out Andy Moss's Twitter, and we'll definitely have you back, Andy. Appreciate you coming on.
Mitch, thanks so much. It's glad to be here. Good luck on your CMT studies.
Thank you. We're going to be working hard at it. Appreciate it, Andy.
Great. Take care.
Thank you. There you guys have it. We're going to be wrapping on up in the next 3 minutes here, but I am watching BBIG move there. We got towards 310. You guys know I got in there at the 296 there. We'll see if this can continue making moves. We'll see if we get some parabolic running into this. The big move will be above 320s. If we can get above 320s, that's where I'll start seeing some extension try to come in. One thing that I did like is on the 5-minute, we did get this volume bar to kind of spike on up on that. So if we can hold towards that low right now, that's 298. We'd still be into the green. Let's let this try to work and get above this. This looks like a kind of a cup and handle kind of forming. You get the cup pattern right here. Let's look to see if we get a pullback towards that VWAP, holding VWAP kind of on that cup and handle pattern, getting back up through the 310s. This is on the 5 minutes. We'll see what happens there with BBIG. I did see other people trying to call out EMR. No, not that one. UEC. I know that one's been one that we've been watching all day, kind of keep running uranium play. We'll see if this can continue making moves. I do see kind of this topping action here by the 520s. I think if it just holds some pullbacks, we're still looking good here. We can kind of draw a trend line up. Let's see if it kind of holds this trend and then gets back up there through the 525s. Doesn't look too bad there on UAC. We take a look at basic materials. We can see coal up 6% on the day. Look at the industry. Look how all these are into the green. You guys know how I love paying attention to that, because if you can catch an industry like this where it goes up 6%, and then you can catch certain names, you can diversify within, like BTU, METC, CEIX. We could have diversified in all those today, and then giving us a chance to get more into the green, also getting a basket versus just getting one name. I think you see here, what do you see? You see what? Pretty much 13 out of 14 items into the green. So showing you that if you would have got any of these into it, you would have been into the green. And that's what I want to be. I want to kind of understand those basket approaches, understand the rotation, because if we can catch that, we can make good gains. Like you can see the same thing happen in aluminum here. What do you see? You see 6 names, 5 of them into the green, deep into the green. The only one that's barely into the green is STM. But this is also how I find the laggard plays. A lot of times you guys will see me find the laggard trade, and the way that I find that is going through the industries and going to see what is lagging, maybe look at a daily chart that's finding some support, and then you're seeing some other daily charts that are ripping through the highs. A clear example of that was DE. When we were back here, we were up at the 400s. We actually started pulling back on DE, but I was looking at Caterpillar and finding support there around the 185s. You could see that one start pushing on up. So I looked for DE to follow last week, and you could see how it started pushing on up there towards the 425s. These look really interesting. Going to keep a watch on these industrials. Later today, guys, I got you guys a great interview to check on out. Super League Gaming, SLGG. I will be interviewing the CEO and Han right there at 4:30. Join me, guys, on Money Mitch. Up next, you guys got some futures talk. If you guys want to check that out, I definitely would recommend you guys check out some futures action with Spencer Israel. Another thing is, of course, I got an action-packed week on Money Mitch. Tomorrow, I will be releasing an interview that I just did on Friday on DM, Desktop Metals, guys. So I got an action-packed week for you guys on Money Mitch. Don't miss out. Hit that like button. And, of course, let's keep it going right here on Benzinga.
Check.